morning, everybody. Vikings victory Monday. Here we are. Mussman's in. He's all pumped up.
Love it. Coming off a win.
Yeah, Van Ginkel's all pumped up.
Something that I anticipated. It's something that I saw kind of with just how Daniel Jones was, kind of what he was doing, and it just allowed my instincts to take over.
Oh, yeah. Great. That cost us $5,000.
Well, it wasn't our fault. I'm just glad there were no giant efforts. And let me tell you, that stereo was turned up loud yesterday. In the
Oh, they were excited.
They were excited. You talked to him on the field. Had you spoken to Van Ginkel before that, Ben?
I have. Just one other time. Where was it? One of our away games was like in the preseason, the first time I'd like really formally introduced myself.
Right.
And we have a little bit of connection because he was at University of South Dakota first before he went to Wisconsin.
Right.
And that's in my hometown. And then his hometown is only probably less than an hour away from my hometown in South Dakota. So, we geographically sort of share some similarities, but yeah, I don't know him that well though.
Yeah.
Good start.
Great start.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Super impactful. That was the dagger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not that they felt like they were going to come back anyway, but I believe it was the TV broadcast was like, hey, if they can punch this one in, technically it's 8 points. It's a 1-score game. I mean, that was a little bit of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But then Van Ginkel picks it off and runs it back, and it's over.
Yeah, what a play, what a read. But also, that ball's coming in pretty hot.
Yeah, you
a
got
lot
some
of times,
soft hands,
Yeah, a lot of times you see that one, it looks like they're trying to catch it with the backside of their hands.
Right.
Normally it's like, oh, you easily could have walked that in.
Well, that was like Harrison Phillips a little bit after that, right? Kind of a similar thing where it's just it hit him pretty close to right in the hands, but it was just coming in so hot he almost picked one off.
Yeah.
Same kind of a thing. It's like, man, Daniel Jones is not so having a day.
Yeah. KFC I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You do it. You go.
I was just going to say that. How about this, Hawk? They were booing Daniel Jones in the middle of the first quarter.
Was it the first quarter? I was trying to remember if it was the first or second. Yeah. How about it, man?
They had zero leash with him.
I think Kay Adams broke up with him in the middle of the game.
They were running
Poor guy.
multiple called running back, I should say quarterback runs with your starting quarterback who's coming off an injury.
Coming off an ACL.
Please get hurt.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they waited for him after the game just to boo him as he's walking to his car.
Oh.
That sucks.
Oh, and then they went to his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still there now.
I do feel bad for
They could have
him.
had McCarthy.
Yep.
Just say J.J. McCarthy's name, and you could have started him, for God's sakes. Or, again, second half, roll J.J. McCarthy out there.
Yeah.
If you don't want Daniel Jones to play anymore. But they drafted Malik Neighbors instead.
But one game is not indicative of his whole career, but still, when you watch that one game...
Oh, he's been terrible his entire career, except for the Vikings game in the playoffs.
Who assessed this and said, we should give him a lot of money?
How about even the TV broadcast showing the stats from the Vikings playoff game, comparing it to yesterday? This is when Daniel Jones was good, and this is today.
You know what I love?
Whoops.
That's whenever they show like an old school from a certain era, Vikings highlight against the Giants. Almost every time, or any team, almost every time Burstich would go, I got a concussion in that game. Have you ever noticed that?
Well, and he had so many.
Game. Well, part of it.
He had so many concussions. They show clips from the 70s, and Pete's like, I got a concussion in that game. I'm in the minority on this. I thought the jerseys were badass. I just thought the Giants played like ass. If that team is legit, then those jerseys look intimidating. But when you're playing like idiots, then it just looks like you're dressed as clowns.
I don't know.
Yeah. I thought they were sweet, man.
I thought they were gross.
I thought they looked cool as hell.
I thought they were real costumey.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they play like ass. Play like the Patriots from 20 years ago when those jerseys play.
Well, the Patriots from yesterday.
Well, yeah, there's that.
What happened there? Wow.
Unbelievable.
A lot of weird games yesterday. Again, it's hard to predict week one.
Real quick, we'll hit the news.
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by the St. Paul Saints.
Thank you, St. Paul Saints. The Saints are playing some baseball. And if you like baseball and you watch the Twins this weekend, maybe you want to watch the Saints. St. Paul Saints rallied late to beat the Iowa Cubs 93 at CHS Field. Caleb Barriger picked up his second win in relief. The 67 and 70 Saints visit Columbus tomorrow, so we'll tell you when they're back in town at CHS Field.
Yeah, we probably won't talk about it much, but my God, the Twins weekend was just brutal. And, the Royals are right back in this thing. Nice sweep by the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, Rocco was real pleased. I mean, here he is after the game talking to the press.
It's an unprofessional series of baseball that we just played. And that's my only comment for the day. I'm not commenting on anything else. I don't think anything else really has to be said. So you guys can run with that and go for it. But that's all I got today. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think they're 6-14 in their last 20. It's not good.
Yeah. Play baseball, guys.
Yeah, they were up 2-0 on, was it Saturday? And Bailey Ober was cruising. He put down 15 in a row, and they pulled him, and they lost 4-2.
Icky.
And then yesterday they had 5 hits and scored 0 runs.
Yeah. And then Rocco walked up to the press and said,
Can you dig it?
Wow. I thought he was done talking.
Makes me happy that I don't have BSN.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a
Is that a condition?
There's Pepto-Bismol for that, brother.
Yes,
I
yeah.
had
you
it
have a
last
poop
week.
problem?
No. Valley Sports North.
Oh, got it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I
You're
don't have
happy
to put
you-
myself through that.
You're happy you don't have it?
Yeah, so I don't accidentally go through it and then watch a game such as that.
No,
so
we're gonna
unprofessional.
we're gonna bounce back and we're gonna have a fun little playoff run, and you're gonna be like, "Oh man, I wish I could watch it."
Yeah, see
Give me
how
another
you're going
reason
to be?
go to the bar.
It does sound just like you, Muzz.
Hon, I got to go to the bar because we don't have
you need a
BSN.
reason. Yeah.
Your BS here doesn't work. I got to go to the bar.
Whoa.
The suspect in Saturday's shootings on Interstate 75 in eastern Kentucky is still on the run. 5 people were seriously injured when a gunman opened fire along a stretch of freeway in Laurel County. Investigators say they recovered an AR-15 rifle from the woods near the interstate. They also confirmed 32-year-old Joseph Couch is the man they're looking for. Some schools are shut down in the area because they can't find this dude, and he's still out there.
So what? So was he? It wasn't like the DC shooters. Like he wasn't in his car just picking people off.
Good question.
Was he just standing on the side of the highway just shooting people?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I do know that, like, he was out on a $1,000 bond for threatening to shoot people.
Oh, jeez.
And then he said, "I told you so." I don't know if he said those exact words. It was
Well, I
something like
appreciate
that.
his honesty, though.
People are weird, man.
Yeah, man. Authorities in Blaine responded to reports of gunshots at Northtown Mall Sunday afternoon. Led to a lockdown in the area. The shooting, which occurred in the mall's parking lot, resulted in no injuries, but caused damage to at least one door and left ammunition casings behind. A man was arrested nearby for unlawful possession of a firearm. Police are investigating the incident, which seems to have stemmed from a dispute between 2 groups.
Well, at least it was at a mall. No one goes there anymore.
You dig it?
Sauce, what do you think of all these shootings? I mean, the holidays are right around the corner.
Well, shootings are ridiculous. Stop shooting people. You're ruining the holidays.
Thank
In all
you.
seriousness, shootings are just stupid.
Elaborate.
I just the news is depressing, and when you every time you turn on the news, it's somebody shot somebody. It's stupid. Don't do that. Quit shooting each other. There's other ways to solve problems, and shooting each other is not it.
Well said, Socrates. The Mega
Who's that?
How do we get that entire speech on a T-shirt by the end of the day?
The Mega Millions jackpot is up to $800 million now. Nobody matched all 6 numbers in Friday's lottery drawing. The last time someone won the grand prize was back on June 4th. So now the Mega Millions jackpot rolls over to Tuesday's drawing. It'll be worth an estimated $800 million. Lump sum of $400 million.
Ben, you know, again, whoever wins the lottery, right? The billionth of a second that they purchased that ticket, everything in the existence of time had to take place beforehand, right? For that thing to be in the right place in the right time, right?
Sure.
If I win the Mega Millions tomorrow, it's because of you. Because I was in Holiday waiting for my pretzel, and I was about to just give up on the pretzel and go get the lottery tickets and leave, and then you called. So if then I bought the lottery tickets after, right? Because after we talked, I was like, all right, now I got to go back in and get the lottery tickets. So if I win, it's because you called and delayed me buying them by 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So thank you in advance.
And think about all the tickets that were sold in that 10 minutes.
Hey, it's Cory. What are you wearing?
I said,
Actually,
Ben called, not Zach.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's how you answer the phone.
Oh, that's what I say?
Yeah. I've
Really?
called you before, and then I tell you, and you hang up because you said you're too close.
So anyway, Ben, if I win, I'm going to have to give you a couple million or something because I wouldn't have
I think
won.
that's fair.
I wouldn't have won without that phone call.
You're welcome.
Let's talk more sports when we get back. We'll talk more Vikings, Giants. The Vikes won 28-6. Also walk us through sports after this.
Mr. Unlimited.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. You know, the Vikings weren't just the only team to win. The Gophers won on Saturday as well.
I told our team, no matter what, we're playing 60 minutes of football, period. We have to play football. In the NIL and portal world, and you're combining a team, and you only get 12 opportunities, and you only get to have your team scrimmage once or twice in training camp, you got to play as much football as you can. And if you got an opportunity to play a lot of guys, you play them, and you play football. And that's maybe different than what it used to be, but that's how it is now.
There you go.
That's an interesting point. I guess I don't know the rules because obviously there's not a college union. What are the rules for contact in training camp? Like, why can you only have one or two scrimmages?
Don't know.
I kind of wish we had maybe somebody like Tommy or Justin here to like what's going to hold him back from having 3 scrimmages? I don't know. Anything?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, a second here. I got to find Sauce's tweet here because it was really good.
Could be like intro.
Oh.
I don't know. Must be any idea.
I have absolutely none.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I like that.
I don't know.
I'm happy
it just
to be
seems
here.
like he's kind of saying like, well, we're kind of limited. We only get 1 or 2 scrimmages. Like, well, what holds you back from having more?
Yeah, must be some rule against it.
It has to be. There has to be some.
Come on, Fargo, you're out there.
I mean, with no actual preseason games, and you're not doing joint practices like the NFL does. Like, I think that you'd want to have as many live situations to get your team ready, unless something's holding you back from that.
Especially with that many players.
I know.
You have on a
You've
college
got
team.
bodies.
Yeah.
Even if you're just going like 1s versus 3s.
Oh, Sauce, I found it.
Oh, go ahead.
17 hours ago, Patrick Royce tweeted, this is a serious two-way ass kicking for the purple. And then you quote tweeted that with, do you think KOC will make the team crowd surf him after the win?
I stand by that.
I'll stand by you. Can I sing that even? Is that legal or do we have to pay $5,000? So do you think KOC will make the team crowd surf him after the win?
Yeah, I stand by that.
17 hours ago, you tweeted, Daniel Jones is bad.
Yeah, and
what a tweet, by the way.
Wow.
Were you meant bad meaning bad or bad meaning good?
Scathing.
You didn't put 2 Ds on that, did you?
Yeah, I bet you did.
16 hours ago, you tweeted, Kirk is cooked.
I stand by that.
Oh, phonetically, that's fun.
15 hours ago, you tweeted, Brady sounds robotic.
He did.
Oh, yeah. How did he go? How did he sound?
He was fine.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, see, Hawk got audio.
Holy moly.
You got audio.
10 hours ago, after about 15 other tweets, 10 hours ago, you tweeted, stop trying to make the voice a thing.
Yeah, I stand by that. The voice sucks. Stop trying to do that. You love it.
Been a bit successful.
No, it's terrible.
Scott Reba.
Almost a year ago, you tweeted, looking for a great gift? Look no further than a cameo from me. Thank you.
By the way, like a month ago when you brought that up, thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
You stand by that one, too?
You got some gas money out of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got ass money out of that?
Yeah,
Put
from Ben.
put 2 Ds on it.
Yeah, Ben said, let me see your slabs. Free.
It's time for Stand 5 on the Power
You're my chief.
All around property preservation.
Thank you all around.
My turn?
There was one more I wanted to find because you got into a fight with somebody kind of on Twitter. Where's that bit? You basically said cheering for people to get hurt is chicken bleep, and then that Rick Sosa guy fired back at you.
Yeah, and then I sent the Forrest Gump.
Yeah, because you said basically grow up, and then he said, you asking someone to grow up? And then you sent a Forrest Gump gif of Forrest waving.
Yeah, I stand by all of that. And I'm very immature for a soon-to-be, I'll be 42 in a week. But, yeah, I don't cheer for people to get hurt.
Not on the air, at least.
No, I don't. When have I ever cheered for people to get hurt?
Last commercial break.
I did not.
I did not.
The Vikings won 28-6. Sam Darnold was excellent. 19 of 24 for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns.
19 of 24. 19 of 24.
Yeah, Brady does sound robotic.
19 24.
He had one interception, but it wasn't really his fault. Aaron Jones, 14 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. JJ, 4 catches, 59 yards and a TD. And the defense had a touchdown on a Van Ginkel pick 6. The defense had 5 sacks. Dallas Turner had 1. Patrick Jones had 2. The Vikings roll into their home opener on Sunday at noon against the Niners, who play tonight against the Jets at 7:20 right here on the Fan. The Niners are between 5.5 and 6-point favorites next week over your Minnesota Vikings.
Ben, how about that offensive line, though, for the Vikes? I mean, if you think about it, Dexter Lawrence, he was going to get his.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that guy is a beast.
Monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they had to kind of scheme away from him a little bit on that, and it worked out later in the game.
Yeah.
But, man, Thibodeau and Burns, we were thinking, oh, these guys could ruin a day. They were silent.
Where were they?
Yeah.
Right.
O'Neal and Darisaw just kicked
And
ass.
the Darisaw holding penalty, he just
That was
threw
not a
him.
hold.
He just pushed him so hard that it looked, that was such a bad call.
He grabbed him this way. And I think that's what the ref saw. He did the pull in.
Yep. I think that's a great point. I think both. We talk about all the time. This is a game that has to be won in the trenches. I mean, you would prefer to have both of your lines win the battle, but sometimes it just takes one of your lines to like outperform the other one in a game for you to win. But in this particular case, our offensive line dominated that. The strength of their whole team was their defensive front.
Right.
And we're like, these are the 4 guys that can wreck this game. And outside of the early sack by Dexter, and then he's the one that caused the interception as well, I believe.
Yeah, he got his hand on Darnold's arm.
The 2 stud outside rushers did nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, we had a quarterback hit or 2?
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah. Our offensive line played great, just like our defensive line.
And can I say this just before we get too far down the road? Sam Darnold, if he hasn't already, I hope to God that he goes for Halloween as Dwight Schrute. Put the glasses on him, put on the button-down shorts.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Every time I see...
participating as there's no evidence that charity works.
Wait a minute. That
was Darnold. Yeah, that's Dwight.
I didn't know that.
You just thought it was a random soundbite?
Yeah, I thought it was...
Oh, it's Dwight.
Oh.
I will not be participating as there's no evidence that charity works.
Oh, now that I hear it.
Yeah, now I was going to say, now that I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I thought it was Carell at first.
Who?
Huh.
Michael.
Steve Carell.
Oh.
Did you guys see the sit down that KOC did with Caleb Presley on Barstool?
I haven't watched all of it. I heard it was a big hit.
I cannot believe that he actually did it. Just sit down with Caleb. I love that he did because it was like totally unexpected. There's a story that is brought up that KOC has to explain that is phenomenal.
What's the gist of it?
KOC, well, the way Caleb presents it is choking his chicken in the car. Yep. Yep. You just gotta listen to it. Yep.
Oh.
And you're kind of like, wait, what? And then KOC answers.
The head coach of the Vikings?
Yes. There's
hammering himself.
There's definitely some context, and definitely Caleb takes it upon himself just to like twist the phrasing.
Well, sometimes you got to twist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to tweak it.
Get after it.
Yeah.
2 hands.
Yeah. Good for KOC though to do that sit down.
Yeah.
Because it was it was funny.
Wow. I must investigate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
All right.
Sauce that dead air means it's your cue.
No, but I thought we were going to... you're going to die alone.
That's fine.
The Twins lost 2-0 to the Royals. They were swept by the Royals. The Twins are 6-14 in their last 20, and they've lost 3 straight. They are 76-67. They need 11 more wins for Ben to win money, and they need... but I don't know. It'll be great. But they are plummeting. They had 5 hits yesterday. The Twins now trail the Guardians by 5.5. They trail the Royals by 2.5, and now they are 3.5, only 3.5 games up on the Mariners in Detroit for that final wild card spot. They play the Angels today.
Twins are just 5 back, by the way, not 5.5.
Uh-oh.
No. I read it on ESPN.
It's 5.
What a mess.
Hold on. Cyrus has a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you count, suckers?
No.
Sauce cannot
No, I cannot.
God, Brady is robotic.
I mean, I'm robotic, but I'm not paid $37 million.
Domo arigato.
Mr. Roboto.
Oh, $5,000.
My turn?
But you've been, yeah.
The Gophers smoked Rhode Island 48-0. Max Brosmer was great. He was 24-30 for 271 and 2 touchdowns. It was a destruction. They are 1-1.
Did you type "it was a destruction" into your phone?
It was. Oh, you didn't have the. You
don't need to tell Cory that.
It was destruction.
It was destruction.
But I can read my own notes. The Gophers are 1-1. They battle 1-2 Nevada next weekend on Saturday at Huntington Bank at 2:30. Pregame at 12:30.
What?
The Gophers are 14-point favorites over the Wolfpack.
Wow.
Here's Max Brosmer on the win.
I thought the team just came together really well. We executed, basically everything we called. And if we didn't, we're going to go back to the drawing board and look at it again and figure out how we can do better. But I thought the team did a really good job staying together. We were very united, very connected. And that's why, we scored the points we did and we stopped the points we did on defense.
Jesus, was that on a 1.25 podcast?
Yeah.
Woo,
Does he always talk that fast?
He's a
doesn't take
speed
a
talker.
breath.
It's the Micro Machines guy.
And I was told this morning he has a nice dumper.
Yeah.
What?
That's what somebody told me this morning.
Is that
Gee,
guy?
I wonder who that is.
I wonder who that could be.
Anybody willing to volunteer?
You have a killer dumpster.
Yeah. Wow, there it is. You had the audio.
You have a killer dumpster.
I don't know you had the audio.
Is he not back there?
Yeah, did he?
No comment?
You have a killer dumpster.
Yep,
Can you dig it?
Okay. Interesting. No, he talks very quickly.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 48-0. It was destruction.
It was
destruction.
Hours before Dallas kicked off its season, Dak Prescott signed a 4-year contract, $240 million. He is now the highest paid player in NFL history, and it will keep him in a Cowboys uniform for a long time. I read yesterday, and I don't know if this was confirmed, but it was from Schefter. 231 of it is guaranteed.
Is that correct?
That's right?
Yep. Jeez. 231 out of the 240.
Woo, boy.
Man,
Well, and I guess he played like it too, right? I didn't see much of the game, but
33-17. Man, Cleveland's bad.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Their offense.
their offense is
Their
bad.
offense is bad, yeah.
But, man, we can argue about Mike Zimmer and what you think about him as a person. When he only has to coach the defense, he's really good. That
he's
defense
a great
was
defensive coordinator now.
firing.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's over for douchebag Deshaun Watson. He's so bad, and he sucks as a human, but yeah, he was horrible yesterday. They might just go to Jameis Winston. Cory said it earlier because his dad texted him. Kendrick Lamar will perform at halftime of the 2025 Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Can you dig it?
I'm a little surprised they're picking Kendrick just because he technically was a part of the one 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of a quick turnaround to go, hey, you just did it 2 years ago. Let's have you do it again. But I mean, I guess Beyonce had a couple within a couple of years as well, right? Because wasn't she like, was that the Coldplay year that she was kind of a part of it, but then she headlined one? I forget how it works. So I'm a little surprised they went immediately back to Kendrick Lamar because he was a part of that, the Dre, Snoop, Eminem halftime show.
Yeah,
but obviously it's been a monster year for Kendrick, so they're striking while the iron's hot. I get it.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I have no idea what this guy sings. I couldn't.
Do you have some in the system?
Sure do.
Yeah.
No, that's Jewel.
Oh, wait. I thought that was Price is Right.
Oh, that'd be
Kendrick's
great.
awesome, man. Yeah, we can play it as long as we review it, right? So should we just review it?
No.
Here's Kendrick Lamar.
That's not
A
bad.
lot of tune on that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Like Maroon 5.
Can we delve deep into the Vikings with Ben when we come back?
Sure.
And also, we haven't talked about Tyreek Hill. I'll play you guys the audio I was talking about this morning, his post-game audio talking about his being cuffed and thrown in the back of a cop car.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they did the celebration on the field.
The cops did?
No, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
It sounded like
Yeah, there was one cop. There was like a construction worker. There was a Native American.
They did the
You
YMCA.
saw that too? Yeah. They did a weird choreographed dance. Vikings news is next.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, a keyword contest. Thanks, Big Voice Guy, to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
That is awesome. Thank you, BellBank.com. Tom with us every Thursday. Thanks to them. Grenard with us tomorrow. He was all over that field yesterday. Jonathan Grenard. We'll talk to him tomorrow in the Power Trip Morning Show about 8:40. So lots to get to. We found KOC with the Sunday conversation with Caleb Presley and the part you were talking about, Ben. Would you guys like to hear this?
Sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's pretty funny. They're sitting inside the facility having a conversation.
NFL coach, Brandon Staley.
Good friend of mine.
Yes.
Assistant head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
And this is the quote he gave me. Kevin O'Connell chokes his chicken so hard he throws up in the car.
That, believe it or not, would be accurate. I one time, right in front of Brandon, I had a chicken sandwich, and I legitimately choked in the backseat of the car. And I looked over at him for help in the moment, and he looked at me and then just took another bite of his chicken sandwich and kept it moving.
So that's true.
It's true.
Okay. Kevin O'Connell chokes his chicken so hard he throws up.
The whole bit's great, man.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
The whole bit. It's 6 minutes long, and the whole thing is great. Kevin is great. He's having fun. Good bit. Did you watch the whole thing, Ben, or just
I
that
did.
part? Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's good. I was Sunday morning. I was having my cup of coffee, looking at the New York skyline, and I was watching that video, just laughing. And I don't know. I love Caleb's interviews. They're so good. They're so uncomfortable.
Now, was he a football player? Was he a player?
I don't know any of his background.
I don't either.
Anybody know anything about him?
No, not at all.
He in that video he talks about how he has family here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I forget what
In Warren, Minnesota.
Warren, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's right.
I swear when we looked him up, Hawk, when we were watching one of his interviews before, that he did play football.
It was like a punter or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah.
He was a quarterback for the Tar Heels. Backup, walk-on, backup quarterback for the Tar Heels.
Play a little ball. Okay.
He's a funny dude, man.
Yes. That's a funny bit.
His uncle Robert and his cousin are both NASCAR drivers as well.
Whoa.
No kidding. Yeah, really. I know those that last name in NASCAR for sure. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. We're going to do some serious breakdown of the Vikings.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Redco is your truck accessory pro store. Mussman, you've said nothing of interest on the show today, so you get to go first.
True, yeah.
Ask Ben your question.
How
Go.
do they not give the rock to Jones one more time? 94 yards. Get him the 100. What are we doing?
Well, I think they tried.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty apparent from KOC that it was very much like top of mind at the end of the game. Like, let's get him his 100. Let's get him his 100. And I don't know. I don't know why they just couldn't keep pressing him forward to get him out there. But yeah, you also have to be smart about it. I mean, talk about the impact that he had in the running game. And the thing is, the running game didn't really start off all that hot. It wasn't great early on.
But they didn't go away from it, which they
did not
have
go
in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I love watching Aaron Jones run. You know, I liked watching him when he was a Packer. But there's stylistically the way that he just sort of, you know, floats along. It's so smooth and it's silky. And then the way that he finished 3 of the runs. I mean, I didn't realize he had that leg power.
Yeah, falling forward. Yep.
He was just driving his legs upon contact. I guess I was surprised by that initial power. I don't remember seeing as much of that when he was with the Packers.
And he is your unrestricted first guest, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. So a week from today, I'll be at Mystic Lake Casino Hotel, 7 to 8 p.m. Drinks bar. It is free to attend. You just come and have a good time. And yes, he is the confirmed first guest. So Yeah, it's podcast interview format, and then at the end, fans can ask questions to Aaron, and then I'm sure he'll be gracious enough to sign some stuff or take pictures too.
Seems like a good guy.
Sweet. He's a great guy. Everybody that has been around him via the Packers or in the short time here with the Vikings, they said you will not find a better human being, like just humble, gracious, zero ego.
Well, with your interview with Justin Jefferson, as soon as you asked about him,
yeah,
you could hear it in his voice, in Jet's voice, where he got really excited to talk about Aaron Jones and the impact that he's had already in the locker room.
Yeah, he's just a phenomenal guy. So yeah, let's just hope that he can stay healthy because I think we all enjoy what this offense can look like with a bit more balance and a guy that is truly. I don't know if he's a home run hitter as far as watching Adrian get loose, but, when you need to get, he can scamper off for, 15, 20 yards and rip off some big chunk plays. It's fun.
Yeah. Chandler looked good, too, coming out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Caught a couple passes.
Yeah.
Good to see. Sauce, your turn. Go.
About yesterday's game.
Cory?
We talked about it a little before the show and how one of the names you didn't hear a lot of was Stephon Gilmore. How do you think he played?
It's hard to tell when they don't get targeted that much. He was in coverage on Malik Neighbors on one critical third down that was probably like an 18-yard hit. The problem is he was too fast. He overran the ball. He actually tried to get his backside hand to knock the ball down, and it just went just past his hand and then right into Malik's stomach there. So it's like he's going to get credited for being in coverage on that play, but he did everything right. I mean, he read the play. He was right on his hip. He broke on the play. He knew the route, and he actually just overran it. So it might take him a game or two to get his timing back. But as far as the mental part of the game and physically, he seems like he's right there. So they didn't get challenged much. I mean, they really did. Everything was kind of short underneath. A lot of checkdowns, a lot of design, just like short passes. I think they were really worried about our pass rush and the blitz. So the ball was designed to get out. So I don't think our corners really were challenged too much at all.
Cory?
The Vikings?
The game yesterday.
How do we feel about tight end by committee until Hawkinson gets back? What do you think of Munt and Oliver and company? Can we sustain this for the next 3+?
I think so. It was nice to see Oliver last year show that he can catch the ball. Nobody's going to say that he's a game breaker or anything like that, but the fact that he can just be an outlet and he can sneak out, he can chip, that he can chip a guy in the end and still get out there for a pass and be a confident pass catcher. I think that's great. I actually am a big fan of Johnny Munt. I don't know. I'm hoping that we can get him some more targets. I think he's more athletic than people give him credit for. And
he's the best TE3 in the league, right? Is that what?
I think that's what he said. Last year. So I'm hoping that we can get more opportunities to showcase himself a little bit. But yes, I think by committee, that's how it's going to have to go. And especially with, we don't know the extent of Addison's injury. Hopefully it's a tweak or something. He's back pretty quickly. But, when I saw Jordan walking off the sideline, he walked right past me with the towel over his head. There wasn't a considerable limp. And he certainly did walk off under his own power. He didn't get carted off to the locker room. So let's just cross our fingers that we're not down our wide receiver number 2. And if he is down for this week, then we are going to need that tight end by committee because, we're going to need some guys to truly step up and be some pass catchers for us.
Ben, we went into this season, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday with Mr. Mussman and Mr. Meat Sauce in the pregame show. One of the things I love about the beginning of an NFL season, it's not just that everybody's 0-0 and everybody's got their chances, but it's also that everybody's out there saying this is who's going to be great and this is who's going to be bad. Sometimes they're right. Everybody knew the Chiefs were going to be great, but sometimes you have really no idea. Did yesterday's win and the way we won change your perspective on the outlook for this season for your Vikings?
I don't think so. I expected us to win.
Oh, okay. Then you're right.
So I was not like, oh man, I'm like really, really sweating this game. I didn't know it was going to look like that. I think what we can take for what I can take from it is like, we are playing, we have gelled together much quicker than I thought we were going to. We've talked about all the new faces on defense. They look like a defense that have been together for a full season. Nothing looked discombobulated. Nothing looked unorganized. We had a short little, one drive where I don't want to completely blame Ty Chandler, but he was involved in at least one of them. Our offense sputtered to get the play in, to get lined up.
Two timeouts.
We had to take 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
That was the only time that I'm like, come on, you guys. Like you're not looking like yourself, at least from what you've shown early in this game. What is happening here with communication? What is happening here with all the formations, the alignments, and all that stuff? So other than that, and obviously the CJ Ham situation where like the guy just never puts the ball on the ground, so I'm not too worried about it. It was a great hit.
Perfect tackle.
It was a perfect tackle. We looked like a team that had been together, and
such good balance.
Really, and just like
offensively and defensively.
The synchronicity of which we played, I thought we were sort of in mid-season form. So that I'll take with me into next week and say, okay, we're ready for the Niners.
But next week is the game changer, right? Chris, you're obviously you're trying to get the positivity going here.
Sure, right.
This definitely changes if the Niners game goes the Vikings' way, because on paper we should lose to them, right? They're the second most likely Super Bowl winner according to Vegas.
Yeah, what's the line this morning?
5.5.
Yeah,
and we're at home,
and
they haven't played.
Which is wild. They haven't even played the game.
And that could, right? Yeah. That's just a projected line. That could change depending on injuries or the performance tonight by the San Francisco 49ers. But let's get optimistic for a second. If you could figure out a way to pull an upset on Sunday at US Bank Stadium, 20 days from now, you have the Green Bay Packers most likely without Jordan Love, right? Mm-hmm. He's expected to miss somewhere in the 3 to 6 week range. The schedule got easier. If you can find a way to win this one, Texans look like they're going to be tough, but at Packers just got way easier.
It did.
Way easier. So this is the one. You want to get a lot of optimism? Find a way to steal this one, and then people are going to start talking. Because, like you said, despite it being really a dominant performance, I don't think any of us were going to be surprised if the Vikings won 21-17. You'd be like, all right, cool. You beat a bad Giant. Yeah. They destroyed a bad Giants team.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't want to be there in that second half.
No.
You could tell for
beat
sure.
the Niners, though, and the whole thing is going to start to feel different. If you get destroyed by the Niners, then the 6.5 over-under in Vegas is going to start to feel pretty real again, but we'll see.
But again, I do think moral victories are a legitimate thing. And I'm not saying that as a player I would say that, but they know it. They feel it. The coaches feel it. If we happen to lose next week against the Niners, but it's a 24-21 slog of just beating each other up, and we're physical and they're making plays and we're making plays, and we just happen to be on the wrong side of that game, you can walk out of that game and say we went toe to toe with what everybody thinks is going to possibly represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Like, we're right there. So I still think it's stylistically, it's how we play. And if we play well and win, that's great. If we play well and lose, I still think all those things are in play, just as you're talking about.
And Darnold as well, right?
And Darnold as well.
If he looks super good and they come up a little bit short, then the optimism that his performance is sustainable probably gets you a little more optimistic as well. If he goes back to the old Darnold against a good team, then it's going to be like, a little bit of a mirage against the Giants.
Right.
So, a lot of questions still to be answered. But Sunday noon, Niners and Vikings right here on the Fan.
Well,
Max, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go.
Okay, I'll say this about Darnold too. There were built-in excuses as to why maybe Darnold would start slow, because he hadn't had extensive work with our first team in a game-like situation. They're going against a defensive front that is touted as one of the best in the league, and they have a brand new defensive coordinator, which we really didn't know what their looks were going to be. You can only take away so much from what you do in your previous team, and for him it was in Tennessee. And it's like, with different personnel, you run different schemes. You might have a different safety, you might have a different this or that. And so they went into it a little bit blind as to like how the defense was going to operate. not once, at least in my estimation, did Sam Darnold look lost. Not once did he walk up to the line and look like Daniel Jones and like, I'm not sure what's happening here. So if I can take away any sort of other positive from his performance outside of him just being accurate and all the yards and stats, is like he looked like he commanded and owned that huddle and that offense and was not taken back by the what ifs on defense. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he trusted the system, and he made just the right throws. I mean, that to me is a gigantic positive going into a much better defense this next week.
Max, did you have one?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Ben what he thought about all the new additions to the defense making an instant impact. I mean, guys like Van Ginkel are out there making plays left and right. Patrick Jones, not new, but still making a big impact. Just thoughts on the defense and especially the new guys making some big plays there in that first game.
Well, it all starts with us guys, the guys up front stopping the run. I mean, that gave us an opportunity to show off our athleticism. I thought we looked faster. I thought we looked more athletic than we have in the last year up front, moving guys around. All of the stunts that we were running, even just on a 4-man rush, and that's another thing that I heard from some of the guys, at least one of the guys in the locker room after the game, was for them in the backside of the defense to be able to cover and know that they don't have to sacrifice a blitzer, a safety, a linebacker, and we can get there and create pressure and havoc with a 4-man rush. That's the game changer. And that's what every defense wants to do. Nobody really wants to blitz that much. You blitz when you have to just to keep teams honest and give them something to think about. But more likely, you want to be on a defense that has 4 pass rushers, regardless of who they are, put them in multiple positions, and let those guys go eat. And to have 7 guys in coverage, that is very difficult for any offense. And that's what we put on display yesterday.
I can't wait to see what that's like against a really good offense.
Yeah, and then
I really can't.
Same. Yeah,
Brian Flores now having the pieces that he picked, that he wanted. This is, versus last year where it was like, okay, I'm just trying to put these people in the positions, but they're really not the pieces.
Right.
Regardless how good Danielle Hunter is, he doesn't fit really in Brian Flores' defense. So the guys that he has, man, that was night and day. I asked you this, I know it's just one game, so let's tap the brakes a little bit. But 28-6, I asked you this yesterday, the fact that I think I did actually hear that.
Everybody did.
Unexpected.
I can taste it.
At least you only have those senses. I have my nose over here, bud.
These mics up. Go ahead, please.
The best was Max.
What side of the ball is going to be the most dynamic throughout this year? And after just one game, honestly, the defense.
Yeah, I think the
defense is going to win you some games, and they very much did.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah. I think that if offensively, once we have Hawkinson, and if we can really truly establish the third wide receiver, and then we see what we can get out of Aaron Jones a little bit more on the offense as the next couple of games go along, especially as a pass catcher, then I could say it rivals the dynamic different layers that we can present to people. But as of right now, we have multiple pass rushers that are really, really good and fast. And then you have the unsung heroes like Tillery and Bullard and Harrison Phillips that clog everything in the middle. And then to see Ivan Pace just flying around. From snap one, this dude is flying around. And he had to show up. Based on his comments earlier in the week, he had to show up and play well. So did the whole defense, but he specifically had to go out and prove something that, this Anna Delvey basic offense that they were facing, they had to show up and shut him down. So everything worked out perfectly, and I'm just excited to see what we can do, especially defensively.
Well, everything you just said, though, about how Daniel Jones was just completely inaccurate, despite having opportunities to be accurate. Next week, we face the highest completion percentage in the history of the NFL, Brock Purdy, at 68.7. So you can say he's overrated. He's the most accurate quarterback we've ever seen, and he's only 25 games in, but that's the one thing he is just super accurate. So that'll be the challenge, right? Is they have a billion weapons, and they have an accurate quarterback.
And they get the ball out real fast.
And they get the ball out fast.
Yeah. I agree with that guy.
See.
Thank you, Cyrus.
8 o'clock hour of the Power Trip Morning Show. Zach, your hands up.
Hey, I got a small tease.
That's not
I mean,
something I'll brag about.
Yeah.
We have a name. We have a name for a professional sports team in this state that
do we really?
has been revealed. So we'll tell you about it next.
I thought we were going to get the Baby Lambert's
Baby
name.
Lambert too.
Maybe they'll be the same.
Cyrus?
You never know.
Cy Lambert has a nice ring to it.